Hello everyone, today we are going to be doing a tutorial to paint a Custodian Warden. This is the final result of the one I'm going to be showing how to paint today. What I recommend to start is by priming it black, like this, just so we can apply the gold easier, and Retributor armour spray is not the best. So, I hope you enjoyed the tutorial, and I hope you learn lots. Anyway, onto the tutorial. So, to start with our model here, I'm going to use some gold paint. So you just want to crack open your paint here. Grab a handful with your base coating brush. Give it a little bit of water. Then we're just going to apply all over the model, making sure it's not too thick. If it is thick in some places like that, just add a little bit more water. Okay, just finished that coat there. I've gone a bit messy and a bit into the other areas, but that's okay because it's just a base coat and my brushes are quite flayed. So if you can, be more precise, but it's okay if you overspill into other areas. Now we are going to grab some light tone from Army Painter, but Agrex Earthshade will work plenty fine, or Reichland Flesh Shade if you're using Citadel paints. So we just get some of that out. There we go. You just grab your brush and then just apply all over the model, as so. And if the model isn't fully covered with that first base coat of Retributor armour, we'll be doing a dry brush over that in a sec, so don't worry about it, just apply that shade. Okay, once the shade is done, we're just going to go back with our Retributor armour, and we're just going to do a rough dry brush. So to dry brush, you grab some paint, wipe most of it off until you only have a little bit, and then you just dry brush roughly all over the model, just to bring back some of those details and highlight the raised edges from the recessed shading. Okay, once we've finished dry brushing the Retributor arm, we're going to use a bit of layer Liberator gold, or just a lighter gold if you're using other paints. So we're just going to do the same, just a dry brush, but instead of doing a rough dry brush, we're going to do a lighter dry brush from the top down. So making sure you hit all the raised edges with this dry brushing. Okay, with the dry brushing of that Liberator armor done, we're just going to grab some Mithril silver from Army Painter. A lighter silver from Citadel also works. I don't know the exact name. But we're just going to grab all this silver here, grab our detail brush, and we're just going to do some very light edge highlighting on the utmost raised edges. It's just like that. You can see that. Just on the very highest and sharpest edges. We don't want to overdo this step, otherwise it looks a bit weird. So on bits like the shoulder pads. Okay, once that edge highlighting is done, we're just going to keep using our silver though, and we're going to apply the base coat for our silver pieces. So just grab a bit of water as well, and just apply silver to the piping down here. Make sure you're nice and accurate with your brush strokes, so I'd use a smaller brush here. And then also on the faceplate. Okay, once the silver base coat is done, we are going to apply a little wash of Nuln oil. This should bring in some shading, make the model look, or the silver look really nice. So we just grab some on our brush, apply it all over to all of the silver parts, as so. Make sure there's no excess pooling on any flat areas. We're just aiming for the recesses here. Okay, once you've finished that layer with Nuln oil, we'll just go back to some of the silver, just reapply to any of the areas where we think we need some highlights, or where there was excess pooling of the Nuln oil, which darkened the silver a bit too much. It's just on any raised edges, basically. So like here on this part of the helmet and the lower part there. Okay, that just about does it for the silver there. So now we're going to move on to our red. So I'm going to use some Citadel Mephiston red here. This is just going to be for the plume and the skirt cloak thing, you know. So we'll just grab some of our base. We're going to use like a medium brush here. Not too small, but not too big. Make sure to add some water. Then we're just going to apply as such, just a base coat in all the red areas. So the skirt here and the plume. Okay, now that we've finished our base for the red, we're just going to go and we're going to highlight it with some Evil Sunz Scarlet. Just going to pop that open. Now we're going to get our fine detail brush to edge highlight here. We're going to grab some, a little bit of water on it. And then between the folds here on any of the robe cloak thing, on the top edges of these creases, we're just gonna put some Evil Sunz Scarlet just to highlight that, just like this. Don't afraid to go a bit crazy here. And also on the plume, you can kind of highlight this how you like, but I like to do a like general highlight of most of the hairs here, and then build up more Evil Sunz Scarlet near the root of the plume. So like this, and then you just kind of flay that out a little bit, as so. So you just repeat this for the rest of the red and that'll be your plume and your cloak done. Okay, that does our highlighting for the red there. As you can see. Now from our red, we're just gonna move on to our burgundy, or like our leather kind of. This will be used for the groups of the arms here, and groups of the axe. I think that's about it. So we're gonna grab our Army Painter Chaotic Red. Gonna use this for our burgundy. Just spray some onto your palette. I'm not sure what the Citadel translation of that paint is, but either or works. So grab some water on your brush. We're gonna use a detail brush here, and you're just gonna grab some of that burgundy. Just base coat over the grips here, making sure to miss that aquila and the buckles of the grips here. And we're also gonna do the grips of the axe here. Just be nice and precise. Okay, now with the burgundy done, we're just gonna highlight it a bit now. So we're gonna grab, now I don't have an exact highlight color for my chaotic red, so I'm just gonna add some white. I'm gonna use Vallejo here, and we're just gonna mix it ever so slightly. So not that much, just a very subtly brighter accent. And now we're just gonna gently apply that to the raised surfaces of the burgundy. Try and make it look mixed in well. And if you want, you can try some wet blending, which I'll teach you in a second. Do on the hilt too. Okay, now we can try and wet blend that a bit by just adding a little bit more of the original base colour, mixing it in between the highlight and the base, as such. Just helps smooth out those transitions. You can edge highlight the burgundy here, but you don't have to, so I'm not going to do it. Now we're just going to go straight onto the straps of the gloves as well, which I'm going to do in war paints. Oak brown, so just going to chuck that down. This one's pretty simple. If you just see these straps here, just going to apply some brown there, just to break up the glove a bit. That should just about do it for the brown. We'll also do a bit of highlighting with the white here. Not that much. Definitely not that much. Just a very subtle highlight. I like to edge highlight the bands like this though. So I'd edge highlight this. Just on the tops. Just clean it up with your finger if you have to too. That does it for our burgundy colour and our gloves. If you've done a bit of what I've done, left a bit black on the clips there, just go back with the gold, do it over. Okay, next on our model, we're going to do black. So for black, I'm going to use War Paints Matte Black. Just a nice colour I like to use. But the Citadel one will work plenty fine. If I can just get it out. Little trick I like to do. So I'm going to grab detail brush. Grab that. A little bit of water as always. And then with the black, we're just going to go over any of these little joint bits here. Being careful to not rub onto that gold or the red here, which I might have just done, but I can go back over it. The joints here. But we won't just do the joints. Also, got to recover the axe. So the hilt here is all black. So just go back over, try and miss out the silver and gold details we painted on already. Okay, black done. We're gonna go in for some edge highlighting on the black. So I'm gonna use a uniform grey here. Grey is usually right colour for black highlighting. There we go. Bit of a mess there, but whatever. Yeah, might have used a bit much paint there, but you know, just for some edge highlighting. Okay. So we're gonna have a look at our weapon here. And on any of the sharp edges, just gonna do some light, very light highlights of grey. As such. And if you need to clean them up with your finger, it's perfectly fine. Okay, with the black done, we're now going to move on to a bit more of a complex part. We're going to do the gems. So I'm going to use some Army Painter Deep Blue here. I'll come out, so I'll just use the old-fashioned way. So now, on any of the gems here, so like, see on the head here, there's a bit on the shoulder pads, and just a bit all over the model. So we're just going to grab our blue, a little bit of water. We're just going to dot that on just as a base coat. And we're just going to do that around all the gems on the whole model. Just being careful to keep that gold trim around the gems. With the base of those gems done, we're now just going to do a bit of a highlight, but not really. Well, yeah, it's a highlight. So we'll just grab some of our white. Don't have a perfect colour to be a good highlight for this blue, so we're just going to add some white. Just going to mix that a little bit. Then on each of these gems, I've got a little something on my brush there. In the corners, just going to give it a little bit of this lighter blue. just facing the light source. If your brush is starting to run out, just add some more. If the exact colour doesn't match, it's okay. The ones on the hands I just added on top. And yeah, like these smaller ones. Okay, with the blue highlighted there, we're just gonna go here and we're gonna grab like a just pure white. And on the very brightest spot, you're just gonna do a little dot of white like that. It's okay if you need to clean it up with your finger as well. This will make gems look like they're sparkling. So we're only going to do it at the very corners. Just make like a shimmering effect. Okay, with our gems done, we're now going to begin what I think is the most technical part of the whole model and painting custodians in general. So we're going to use our deep blue. We're going to be doing the axe part now, so the energy blade. Can be a bit complicated to learn, but it's super easy to do once you've mastered it. So just gonna grab our blue. We're gonna use this blue for just a simple base coat to start. Remember to grab some water too. Oh, shit. And it's okay if you get that like golden part of the axe, because we'll just go back over it again. Okay, with the base coat dried, we're now just gonna go over in lighter and lighter increments of this blue. So to do that, just gonna grab some of our Corax white, well not Corax white, but Vallejo white, you know what I mean, and just gonna mix that in with the blue to start. Just a very, not that much, just a very, very small amount of white. Just want to keep it nice and contained. Just only a slight increment lighter. Remember to get some water on your brush too. Okay. Now with this colour, what we're going to do, that's a bit too light there. It's all about trial and error with this phase of the model. With a nice point on our brush, where these the edges of the axe are, we're just gonna go in, basically gonna do a thick edge highlight. As such, just around the axe. And if you start to run out, just add some water and add some more paint. And do the other side too. Okay, with that layer complete on the edge highlighting, we're going to go even brighter now. So grab your blue again, just grab a little bit more white so it's brighter than the last layer. Maybe not that light. Just got to kind of brute force trial and error this one. About that light. I'm just going to do the same, but a bit less thick. And ideally, I'd go thicker near the top down, so like that. So around here, we make it thicker, and near the bottom, we make it thinner. So it looks like the brighter colors are further to the top. So now I'm gonna go even brighter again, just like before, even further white. So we're now in like a sky blue. And even thinner now. And always remember to add some water, thin your paints. Went a bit thick there, but that's okay. Then back again, yet even brighter. And as I said, even thinner edge highlight, but a little bit thicker near the top. It's okay if it's not quite even, because it makes it look more like cackling thunder. Okay, and then we'll probably go one more step lighter. So now, really bright white. Pretty much fully white. Gonna make this very thin here so it's not overpowering the whole rest of the color build-up we did. Okay, now we're also gonna, the same color, just highlight the edges here. Might be a little hard, but you just gotta reach in. Okay, and now, to finish this axe off, just grab some regular blue, but make it very thin. It's almost a glaze pretty much. Just run that through the middle, just to tone down and contrast our colour build up a bit more. Feel free to use your finger as before. And then finally we're going to add some lightning texture. Go back with the pure white with no blue. We're just going to do very, very thin lightning bolts. As such, same with the other side. That side was a bit weirder, but now just to fix up any weird discrepancies like that, finally go back with the really thin blue and just go through the middle, even thinner than that. Basically dunk it in your paint pot, make like a glaze so that the lightning still shows but it's dampened, so it looks a bit more realistic. And that'll be it for the axe and the model. In fact, I'm just gonna go back with some gold on that, and that'll be a finished model. You can base however you like, but what I like to do is, it's an earlier model I did, add some cork alongside some Armageddon dust, and then dry brush some, where is it? Just a lighter oak brown, so add some white to the oak brown, and then finally do a thick dry brush with skeleton bone, and then add some grass tufts. So that's what I do for basing. But yeah, that's how you do a battle ready Custodian Warden. I hope your hobbying goes well, and see you next time.